What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button, whether you're listening to this on one of the podcast platforms or on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, thank you so much for hitting that like button while you're at it. And let's get into this podversation/reality chat. All right, Kandi Burruss, she was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and she had some questions that I believe a lot of people have. Listen, Sheree Whitfield, we've discussed her before, and I've even asked about this in a not so subtle way, but not so intently either, about Chateau Sheree, and how did you finish this place up? I mentioned this before. We know that Sheree has been off and on of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has been off and on more than anyone else, but she definitely has been off more than she has been on. There are 14 seasons right now. They're going on season 15 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she was not on even 10 seasons of the show. So to build the type of mansion/chateau that she has, one stands to question, how did you do it? Because she did not get the 6, 7, 8-figure settlement that she was looking for from her divorce with Bob Whitfield. She didn't come from a wealthy family. And I mean, we saw where she was living before she moved into the Chateau. She was living in a condo. And I'm not knocking that either, but I'm just saying it's not like you went from one mansion to another. It's questionable, okay? So Kandi, on Watch What Happens Live, she questioned it. She brought up the question, and she questioned it before, so this isn't anything new. On the season when she finished her basement, and it was amazing the way everything looked. And this is the season when she was dating Tyrone from jail and having the collect call conversations with him. And he made mention how when he gets out, he was going to help her do some things in the place and whatever. And we know that he was in prison for a white-collar crime. So Kandi, she was questioning on Watch What Happens Live. Of course, Andy asked the question because Andy is messy that way. He is definitely a messy queen, okay? So because it doesn't help that Sheree's been throwing shade at Kandi on this past season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she didn't disagree with some things that Marlo made comments about, calling, Kandi a hoe. Yeah, she did. She said she has to date beneath her tax bracket. Like, Sheree was just sitting there agreeing with everything. And, that's the type of person that Sheree is. Sheree is not a friend to anybody, honestly, but that's neither here nor there. And so after seeing how Sheree has been shading Kandi on the show, Kandi's like, okay, I have some smoke for you too. So she wondered, and she, said, like, did Tyrone help Sheree finish this place, help her to get the place? Because she has been off and on of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she has not had a steady flow of income coming in that we can know of, because we all know that She by Sheree definitely was not making her money. She even admitted it on this past season when the relationship with Tyrone wasn't working out and she saw her therapist. He was like, well, you need to focus on something else that brings you joy. Like, what makes you happy? And then she says She by Sheree, but it's been a disaster. I haven't been doing much with it. So, she's admitted she's not making money as a businesswoman. She's not working at Home Depot. So not even the dude that she's dating right now is working at Home Depot, and he has at least a steady paycheck coming from Love and Marriage Huntsville, but his businesses are BS. So she even made mention of that. She was like, she's questioning whether this relationship is real, because she knows for a fact that someone else that she knew that was going to date him for publicity, that's the type of person that he is. So she said she feels that this relationship is fake and it's a situation just for publicity and storylines. And most of us believe that. But, Sheree says that Tyrone did not help her. Of course, she wouldn't admit to it if he did, because I believe that could be some implication on her part if she's using money from this guy that was in prison for a white-collar crime, okay? So I don't think that Sheree would admit to getting any type of help from this guy besides the D, and she even said that wasn't that good, which someone else called her out on that too and was like, well, I don't believe Sheree because you were screwing him before he went to prison and now all of a sudden you're acting like you were this pristine, born-again virgin who was not having sex and you were celibate, and then you decided to lay down, with him and do the do, and then you discovered that it wasn't good. Yeah, it's fake. She was just pissed off because he was blowing her off. So it's the typical female thing to do, if things don't work out with a guy. It's like, oh, well, your thing was little, or you didn't know what you were doing in the bedroom. Just like a man would, call a woman a hoe. It's like, well, you slept with her. So doesn't that make you a hoe too? But anyway, I digress. Yeah, Kandi, she's wondering, how did Sheree get this house? How are you making your money? And I believe that is general curiosity. Most people, I believe, want to ask that question, but they don't. But I want to know, Sheree, how are you living in this place? And look, I have heard Kenya say, it's Chateau Thelma, which I believe her mom's name is Thelma. So she's saying the house is in her mom's name. Look, if your mom helped you to get the house, then that's cool too. But don't act like you're this fabulous businesswoman when we've seen the failed business. We know that hasn't been working out. And people do wonder. And it did take you a long time to get this house done. And there's also the rumors out there about how she has not paid a lot of people and had liens filed and situations like that. So it just makes you wonder. I wonder. And obviously, like Kandi was questioning on Watch What Happens Live, she's wondering too. And I don't believe she's the only one on the show that wonders that. But these, all of these women, they're not genuine friends. They're not. I believe that Kandi and Phaedra were genuine friends at one point, and that was built up through the show. And then Portia helped, and Phaedra smashed that all into smithereens when the allegations were that they put out there about Kandi wanting to do certain things to Portia and using substances and all of those different things, which was absolutely crazy. So I just want to know, just like Kandi is asking, Sheree, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you finish the chateau? How are you still there? And Tyrone didn't help you. And we already know that the relationship with Martell isn't real, so we don't even have any questions about that. It's just the decisions that she makes when it comes to men are horrible, just like business. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for liking this video and subscribing to the channel and the podcast. And leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest.